What's going on, everybody? This is Gary B. Jr., and today we are going to be talking about 5 ways that you can polish up your free show presentation. All right. So, in order for us to do this, you first have to be using free show, and I'm going to recommend this is a guide that's going to help you if you're using free show in house and online for like a live streaming production. Typically, people might use OBS or they might use vmix or something along those lines to really try to use their lyrics, their scriptures, and things like that for their online audience. Now, some of you may not use free show online yet for your live stream, but I know a lot of you want to, you just haven't got there yet. So check this out because I think it'll give you some added motivation to try it out and see ways that you can improve, but just really not just improve, but polish up the look and feel of it to get it to the way you want. All right. So I'm going to go off my notes here and we're going to look at this together. All right. So the first thing is you got to go into free show, and I'm in there now. What I would say is to check out ways that you can add transitions to your overlays. All right. And so in free show, we got this option for overlays. And what overlays allow you to do is they allow you to bring in text or a box or image, whatever it is you want to put in this overlay. And this is the edit page. It looks just like any other slide, but it's literally set in the overlays tab. And what the overlays tab allows you to do is store all these different things that you want to put over the top of your presentation. And I've got a QR code. Many of you may want to do something like that. If you wanted to have a way for your online audience and even your in-house audience to be able to give, you can create something like this. There's just a little pop out that comes out. And we're going to look at how we can make it do something when we click it that looks like this. All right. And that is a really cool effect. I really like it. And it just animated itself in. And then I've got it set to after 15 seconds, it's going to automatically just go away. Right. And this is something that's also a part of that animation that you don't have to manually do. And so it just jumps out the screen. All right. So let's look and see what we did to create that. First off, I've got a box, okay, a text box here. And if you go to your items, you can add your own and I just selected text box and I've already got one down here and I typed in there to give. And in that text box, I typed the words in, they're white, and then I aligned them to the bottom because they're going to be a part of this particular QR code that's going to be above it. All right. If you want it to be the QR code at the bottom, you can say, let's move this to where the words are aligned to the top. Right. And then I go back to my items and I'm going to click on my QR code, which is just a media. All right. And I can click on that and I'm going to arrow it down and just bring it down below the words to give. All right. And so now it'll look like that. And so you've got your information in there. What I've got is a text box, but then this actual free show icon is literally just a piece of media. And so if I go here, I literally just dragged it in. It's a PNG file that I have that I pulled from my downloads folder that I downloaded from, I think it's called Hover Code. And it allows you to make free QR codes and you can save them and you can make them link to your website or wherever you want them to go. All right. And so I've got my QR code here. And now the question is, how do you make it animate? All right. So the first thing you do is you can right click on, in this case, I'm right clicking on the text box. And at the bottom or near the bottom, you're going to see this option that says transition. And when you get there, it's going to give you all the options you have for your transitions. And if you want to have more, you can click on this and it'll give you distinct options for the in and the out. All right. So you can literally change what the in transition is and the out transition looks like. And you can change the duration and the type of flow that it is. I've got my text box to just fade in. All right. That's all it's doing. It's fading in and it's fading out. Okay. That's a pretty simple one. And you can get the options here. You can make it do a different type of fade. We're going to look at these later on with the others where you got different ways where it can be a linear, a jump, a flow, circular, and all those different things. All right. So now I'm good to go with that. I'm going to go back to my items and I'm going to select my actual media, which is my QR code. When I right click on that, we got transitions as well. This one, I have it set to slide in and to slide out. Now notice that this one is set to a duration of 1.5 seconds. the longer you make your duration, the more exaggerated your transition is going to be, right? It's going to be more pronounced. Now, the fade in that we have for the text is actually at 1 second. This is at 1.5 seconds because I do want it to be pronounced and kind of give it a feel of animation. And I have it set for the easing to not be at the flow. I actually changed it to the jump. I really like what the jump does. And so when it jumps, it does what you guys saw earlier. But let's look and see what the other options are. If we make it be linear, let's see what it would look like. All right. If I click that, it just comes in and it slides in and it's linear. It just starts, or it comes in and it stops, right? That's one way to do it. And I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to go to transitions. Let's look at some other options. So we got linear. We try the jump. We know what that looks like. The flow. All right. Let's check out what the flow is. All right. I'm going to go here and I'm going to select my transition again, or my overlay. And it's set to flow right now. And there it is. It kind of comes in a little bit easier, a little bit smoother. All right, I like that. And then we're gonna go back to our transitions. Let's look at the other options. So we got flow, we had linear, we've seen jump, circular. Let's see what the circular looks like. And this is just the way that it eases into the frame, all right? And so let's see what that looks like. If I click that, doesn't look much different than flow to me, but it is there. It is a change. And we go back to our transition and I'm gonna go to cubic, all right? And we'll close that. All right, and let's go to this. Let's see what the cubic looks like. Looks about the same. Let me refresh it. Make sure we're seeing something different here. It's on cubic. Yep, looks about the same to me. And I'm gonna do another transition setting as well. So we've seen all those. Let's look at the elastic. All right. So I'm gonna make it go away first, and then we will make it come back. Let's see what elastic looks like. And so the elastic kind of slung and bounced a little bit. Pretty dramatic, kind of jarring. I wouldn't recommend it unless you're going to make it go at a much longer duration, maybe. That might be pretty cool. That was not one that I prefer, but it might be something that works good for what you're trying to do. All right. That was elastic. And then we got the last one, which is bounce. All right. So we'll close that. And let's see what this looks like as a bounce. All right. So it kind of was similar to the last one, the elastic, but a little less pronounced, maybe is the word I would use. So I really like the jump. All right. So I'm going to right click on this. I'm going to put it back on the transition for jump. I like the way that looks. And then I've got it direction wise, right to left. That means it's going to come in right to left. All right. So from the edge of the page towards the inside from the right side, and then it's going to go back the direction it came because the out is set. It didn't change. I didn't change it at all, and it'll automatically go back, right? Because it's starting from this side and it's going from right to left to exit out. All right. And so now let's see what that looks like one more time. This is the jump setting, right? I like it. It's kind of subtle, but it's very pronounced, very easy on the eye. I really like that. All right. So adding transitions to your overlays is a really cool way to make your presentations be more polished, especially for your live stream. It can be really helpful in-house as well. Now, another way to polish up, and these are a lot to do with overlays, which is kind of cool, is adding gradients. All right. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to right click on this particular one. And this is similar idea where these things are designed to move in and out, but they represent the lower thirds for the speaker and a website title, right? So maybe this shows the name of the church and the website. It's up to you, right? You can make whatever you want, but I've made these text boxes, okay? And so they're just simple text boxes, and there's 1 and 2. And then I went in and I made a variable. Okay. So under my functions tab, I went to variables and I made a new variable, and it was a text variable, and I named it speaker. And then you can just type in the name of whoever you want to be there, right? This is something that I've made. You've seen me develop this in other videos, so make sure to check it out. The secret power of variables. All right, so that's there in terms of it's in my variables. And then all I did was I right clicked and I selected dynamic values, and I scrolled all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see your list of all your variables that you've set up. And I just selected the one that said speaker. All right. And it put it in there. All right. So now that's there. And I did the same thing for website. You'll see that variable here, and you'll see that I've input that as a dynamic value there. But the thing about this is look at the actual text box. It's got this cool gradient feel to it. Okay. So when I go back to my overlays, you can see that it comes up and it looks like that, like it's a gradient. You can see that right up under me here. There's a gradient on that particular image, but let's say we want to make it look a little bit different. All right. So this is going to be a way that you can intermingle your ministry brand if you have one, or your school brand, whatever you're using FreeShow for. And you go over to your text box item option. Okay. The text box is there and you can change your text color, which is great. Right. But the actual item itself is the frame that's surrounding the text box. And so you can make a background color or you can make it have no color. Okay. But in this case, we're going to go to the option. It defaults to normal, but we're going to go to gradient and we're going to select something that's there, or you can make your own. All right. And so I've got this one here. This is the blue circle one, right? That one's pretty cool. And then I've got some that I've made down here. This is a red one. I like that one as well. And then I made this one. This is like the orange yellow one. I like that one also. All right. Now, when it's bright like that, what I would recommend you do is make your color of your text a little bit darker. All right. So it'll look something like that. And so now when I go to that particular overlay, when I click it, it pops up and it looks like that. All right. And it's consistent with my brand. And my brand has got the orange. You see it at the top there. You see it at the bottom down here as well. The orange and yellow with it. So it's consistent with that. And it looks pretty cool. All right. So adding gradients can improve the look of your particular presentation. All right. And then the other one that I've got here is motion backgrounds. Now, motion backgrounds are cool because motion backgrounds allow you to show your lyrics like normal. This works for in-house and online, but specifically in-house for this one. So show your lyrics or show your scriptures. And while those lyrics are showing or while those scriptures are showing, the background has a subtle movement to it, right? And you all have seen this probably on other ministries, or even you use them currently to this day for yourself as well. But let's look and see how we can do something like that. All right. So the first thing you want to do is you need to go to your shows and you need to find a show. So I'm just going to go to a song here and we'll find a song. All right. So we got a show here, and this show actually has a motion background set to it, which is perfect. All right. So if I were to go to the show, you'll notice that the text is at the bottom on the show. It's like a lower thirds with the transparency with it, which is perfect. I like that look. If it was in-house, it may not make sense. So you might want to change your template to say, okay, I want my template to be, maybe in this case, I would probably make it be an upper thirds more than uh, a lower thirds. So let's see if I got upper thirds songs. Let's see here. So lyrics here. So I can make it be all at the top, right? So maybe you have an LED screen behind the worship team or something like that, and this would make a lot of sense. And now this motion background actually becomes the backdrop to the worship team, all right? So I can click on that, and what you'll see is a motion background, right? You see the bubbles playing. All right. Now, when it comes to using motion backgrounds, you can get these from a variety of different places. You might try Canva, you might try Adobe, something like that. I've got on my website, you can actually go there, GaryBJr.com, and you can get some motion graphic templates. This is actually one of the motion graphic templates here, along with quite a few others that you can use. And let me see here. If we go to media and YOLO box files, let's see here. I've got a video backdrop set up here, and same way. So here's another example of a motion background that you could use. And this one's kind of fun, right? It's subtle, but it's very much there. You can have your text right in the middle. You can have your text at the top, like I've got here. If I were to change my template, right, to the way or the positioning of the lyrics, let's go to, okay, that's lower third songs. Let's just do songs, templates. And if we did these right in the middle, it'll look something like that. And let me go back to that media because I actually have it as the first slide here. So it's not going to stick there. But if we go back into video backdrops and we've got it here, that's kind of what it looks like, almost like it's underlining the text, right? And this is a really clean and cool way to do it. Now, the cool thing about motion backdrops and any other backdrop, I guess you could say in FreeShow that you add, is you can make some adjustments to it. So I can actually go into this and I can right click, and you might say, you know what? I want to make some edits to this. And so you can go into the filters and you can say, I want to change the hue. So I can make this be purple. Really cool. And so this is what the purple looks like. Kind of like a burgundy. So you basically would make it fit whatever your theme is of your ministry. Okay. So as long as you have a solid color for your motion backdrop, you can literally make it. This is what a green would look like. I love it. It looks great. You can make it be whatever color you want. Okay. And so this is something to look for when you're using motion backgrounds. Look for things that have solid colors in them, and you can actually change the hue of it to match your ministry. This is more like a teal. It goes through the whole gambit. Like I said, kind of like goes through the oranges colors here. And so you can do those things. All right. That's something that is a really cool way to up your ministry and polish your presentation of the ministry, I should say. All right. The next thing you can do is adding titles and information in your lower thirds. Now, we talked about this already a little bit when I showed you guys the name and the website, but during service, right, especially for your live stream, a very important thing to do is to have a way that they can see information and content, whether it's lyrics, whether it's scriptures or whatever it is, but it's really polished when it doesn't cover up the entire screen like it may in-house, right? So you want to have some templates that you've created. I've got a whole category over here called lower third scriptures, lower third songs, and you might want to create a text box like this that goes over it, but it doesn't fill up the entire screen, and it just makes everything fit in the lower thirds of your live stream. So now your video of your ministry is showing up, but the actual lyrics are not covering up the praise team, or the scriptures are showing up, but the scriptures are not covering up the entirety of the pastor's preaching. They're just showing up right below near the bottom of the page, right? And so this is something that's really helpful and useful that you can use to make that work. So if I do this and I selected lower thirds, I would do probably something like this one. I like that. And you can see that it would look something like this. And you would have, in your case, it wouldn't be a motion background back there. It would actually be a video. So video. So let me pull up. I'm gonna go to my styles real quick and change something in my style. If we go here for my streaming training, I will make that show up there. All right. And then I'll go back to show. So right now I got it set to lower thirds lyrics and lower third script box. So my script box is, my lyrics box is going to be a square, as you can see there, because that's my default template that I created here for this particular style. All right. And so this is a lot more polished way. So if I go here and I'm just talking, you'll see the actual words of the song down below. And this is what you will want to show for your ministry if you were live streaming, for example. In-house, you could do the same thing, but in-house, it's okay for it to be a bit bigger. So let's see what that would look like. If I were to change the layout in-house, I can do so. So I can go to my song categories here. Let's see. I'm going to go back to share my screen so you guys can see what I'm doing. I can go back to my song category and I can pick, I want these to be big and bold. All right. So now in-house, it looks like this, but online, it simply looks like that. All right. And so this is something that adds that polish to the presentation to where it's suitable for the in-house to be able to see the lyrics really big, and it's suitable for the folks watching online. They can still engage with the audience and or the praise team or the choir, the pastor, whoever you're putting on the camera. It's like they're there, right? So they can actually see what's going on, just like the people that are in-house can see what's going on, but they also can see the lyrics. They also can see the scriptures, and it's not obstructing their view of what's going on, just like it doesn't obstruct in-house, right? All right, so let's go back. Let me change my settings back again to turn off my slides for the lower thirds because I don't need them for my live for this particular recording. All right. Now, the last thing I would say is to have some cool type of outro video or show. Now, this is something after service is over, the prayer time is over, whatever it is you do to end your live stream, This outro video will be something that allows you to cut to something and then end the stream, as opposed to ending the stream immediately after the message is finished, or immediately after while people are there. You literally have something to kind of transition to, and then you cut from that. A generic video, it could be a series of slides. It could be the slides that you use to open up with, just take away the timer, right? It could be a video where you're literally having someone from your ministry, maybe from the media team, or even your lead pastor, record a video message and talk to the people online and thank them for joining, letting them know what next steps they can take, letting them know how to get more information from your ministry, go to the website, all those kind of things, and where to give, and telling them about upcoming events, or maybe about the youth ministry, different ways they can get involved with the ministry. All those things are really cool ways to polish up your presentation in an outro video / presentation of some sort, whether it's a slideshow or it's a video. It would be really cool to cut to that and then wrap up your live stream for your ministry. All right. So these 5 things, hopefully you heard something that you can implement yourself to help improve and or add that little polish to your presentation for your free show and your ministry. Thank you for watching this video. I really hope it helped you in a major way. Now, at this point, most people would ask you to like and subscribe, and I think that's great. But my goal is a little bit different. My goal is to empower as many people as possible all over the globe. And there's one way that you can really help me do that. And that is to leave a comment below with a question, a thought, how this video may have helped you, or things that were left out that you still have questions about, and to share this video with someone just like you. Someone who is looking for answers, someone who's curious and wants to grow. With your help, I believe we can build a community of people that want to grow together. So until next time, God bless.